In the early 20th century, China was a country marked by social upheaval, foreign invasions, and internal strife. For women and children, these were difficult times. Society was deeply divided, and many were left powerless under the weight of oppressive traditions and political instability. But from the shadow of this turbulence, one woman emerged who would become a central figure in the fight for women's rights and children's welfare, Soong Ching-ling. Born in 1893 in Shanghai, Soong Ching-ling grew up in a progressive and privileged family. Her father, Charlie Soong, a businessman and Methodist missionary, was one of the few in China who believed in the education of girls. This radical idea would shape Soong's life and give her the tools to challenge the norms of her society. But was her success merely a product of her wealth and social position, or did she truly represent the struggles of ordinary women?
Soong's education took her to Wesleyan College in the United States, where she encountered ideas that were radical in China at the time: democracy, feminism, and social justice. Returning to China, she became involved in the political scene, and in 1915, she married Sun Yat-sen, the revolutionary leader who would go on to lead the fight for China's republic. This marriage placed her at the center of China's political changes, but it also came with its own set of challenges and contradictions.
Soong was a strong supporter of Sun Yat-sen's version of a democratic China, but after his death in 1925, her political path became increasingly complicated. She distanced herself from the Kuomintang, the political party founded by Soong, as it became more authoritarian under Chiang Kai-shek's leadership. Some critics argue that Soong's shift in political alliance shows a pragmatic desire for survival, while others view it as a betrayal of the ideas she once stood for. Was she a principled reformer, or did she compromise her values for personal and political gain?
Despite these challenges, Soong's commitment to social reform remained constant. She was a fierce advocate for women's rights and children's welfare, and one of her most significant legacies was the founding of the China Defense League in 1838, which later became the China Welfare Institute. Soong's organization provided crucial support for children taught in the throes of war, educating them, providing medical care, and feeding them.
However, Soong's work for children and women was not without controversy. Critics argue that her focus on urban women's rights and elite education left behind the rural poor, who had far fewer opportunities for advancement. Her privileged background, some say, limited her understanding of the struggles faced by lower-class women and children. In her efforts to reform Chinese society, Soong became a figure of both admiration and criticism.
Soong's complex legacy is also shaped by her political decisions. In 1949, when the People's Republic of China was established, Soong was appointed honorary president. Her decision to align herself with the Communist Party, despite her earlier ties to the Kuomintang, raised many questions. Was she compromising her ideals to ensure the survival of her work, or was she seeking unity for the sake of the country? Some view her decision as pragmatic, while others argue that she abandoned her earlier democracy ideals.
In her final years, Soong continued to advocate for women's rights, children's education, and social progress. Yet, her political alliance was still a source of division. Her life highlights the challenges faced by reformers, how to balance personal principles with the political reality of the time. Was Soong a visionary leader fighting for a better future, or was she simply trying to navigate the shifting tides of power?
Before you, the glorious opportunity of carrying on the pioneer work of your ancestors beyond the frontiers of physical and geographical limitations. you have today before you the immeasurably greater opportunity to implement these same ideals and to help bring about the liberation of man's spirit in every part of the world.
Despite the criticism, Soong's contribution to Chinese society cannot be denied. She was a pioneering figure in the fight for women's rights and children's welfare, laying the foundation for important reforms. But her story also teaches us a valuable lesson about the complexities of social change. Change is never easy, and it is often shaped by difficult compromise. Soong Ching-ling's life shows us that the road to progress is not always straightforward, and that even the most determined reformers must grapple with tensions between ideas and political realities.
Soong Ching-ling's legacy is multifaceted. She was a revolutionary in her own right, challenging the deeply ingrained traditions that oppress women and children. Yet, her life was marked by contradictions. She was both a reformer and a pragmatist, a visionary and a product of her time. Her story is a reminder that progress often comes with difficult choices, but that history is never one-sided.
Soong Ching-ling's life and work continue to inspire, but they also raise important questions about the nature of leadership, reform, and political compromise. Her advocacy for women's rights and children's welfare reshaped China's social landscape, but her political decisions and alliances continue to spark debate. As we reflect on her legacy, we are reminded that history is complex, and that the pursuit of rights and justice often involves navigating a world full of contradictions. Soong Ching-ling's story is not one of simple heroism, but of a woman who navigated an extraordinary range of challenges, always with the goal of creating a better future for China's children and women. Her life forces us to ask difficult questions about the responsibilities of those in power, and the ways in which they must balance personal ideals with the harsh reality of politics.
Today, as we stand on the threshold of the new era, we are pleased to see that, thanks to the relentless effort of Soong Ching-ling and other forerunners, the rights of women and children have been better protected than ever before. Women are shining on the political stage, taking part in managing national and social affairs. In the economic realm, they are creating their own brilliance with their intelligence and diligence. In the realm of cultural education, they have equal learning opportunities like men, pursuing knowledge and truth. In social life, the rights of women and children are strictly protected by law, making their smiles brighter and their lives better. And finally, thank you for joining us in exploring the remarkable and multifaceted legacy of Soong Ching-ling. Her contributions to Chinese society continue to shape the nation's development, reminding us that true progress requires both vision and perseverance.
Russia will never know one day of peace in China. Russia will never own China. China will remain free.